I'm Jeff Myers, and welcome to Elgin Today. On this edition, we take you to the groundbreaking ceremony for the renovation that will take place at the Hemmons Cultural Center. By October 2024, the Hemmons will have a new expanded look and more. This book, This Is My Elgin, written by Sherry Blazer, has been so well received since its release, and we speak with Sherry, who is also the director of the Elgin Public Museum. Exciting news with the Mayor David Captain segment about a new downtown project called DuPage Court at 40. We'll have these stories and more on this edition of Elgin Today. We've got one of the members of the Hemmons Cultural Center, the task force. Your name, my dear?
Margarita Mendoza.
You got involved with the task force. Tell me, with the changes coming to Hemmons, what did that mean to us?
It means a lot, especially for our Hispanic community. As you know, the Hispanic community is growing in Elgin, and it's very important to support all the arts. And the Hemmons is the best place to do it.
So it's exciting that this would be refurbished. It really doesn't affect the stage or anything like that, but everything else, isn't that right?
Of course, and it's going to be great for have a place where we can have different type of events, from quinceañeras to Latino Film Festival or any type of events that is encourage the culture.
You would bring back the Latino Film Festival next year, is that right? Can that be here?
It could be a possibility. It could be.
With COVID and things going on in your life, we didn't have that for a while.
We haven't had it for a while, yes. I got another priorities, but we are back in track.
Well, you kids always put on a great show, so it's exciting to see the groundbreaking today, wasn't it?
It was very exciting to see all the leaders of the city coming here, some people of the task force that we work together, and we were doing all this to keep this beautiful building, to keep the history, and to looking for the future of the culture in Elgin.
Were those meetings late night meetings?
They were late night meetings, yeah, that was pretty interesting, and it was very interesting to hear different people. They know the history of Elgin, and they know specifically the years, the amounts, the people, the places that were happening around before this was built and what is happening now.
Well, congratulations on your work with that, and we're going to have a fun time here, aren't we?
Amen.
Butch Wilhelmy with us. What a day this is, the Hemmons future, and you were so much involved with the planning of that.
It's only been 24 years that we've been working on this, so it's nice that it's finally happening, yep.
Yeah, there were meetings years ago. Mm-hmm. Now we're getting to some of those thoughts and additional thoughts.
Yeah, well, the original master plan for this was in 1999. In 2014, we had the Hemmons Task Force that again reiterated the need for the restrooms on the main floor and extra dressing room space downstairs and storage and just all kinds of things, and this project really checks off the boxes for a lot of what was recommended.
Yeah, that's the key. Your venue is beautiful. The stage is great. The audio is good. You were just having those washrooms. They don't have to go downstairs. Yep. And this line of sight and things like that, and the box office, things like that.
Yeah, so the box office now will be accessible from the outside, so we don't have to. Wow. People don't have to come.
I'm driving. Yeah, it's a drive up now.
You won't be able to drive right up to it, but you'll be able to park right in front and walk up. And the balcony for the reception area is the cover drop off and cover for the box office. So you won't have to come in. We don't have to unlock everything for you to be able to buy tickets. We're going to have elevator access to the balcony for the first time.
Balcony out in front, or what would the balcony be?
Well, the balcony, just to the balcony for the theater itself, because there's going to be elevator access to the second floor. There'll be restrooms on the second floor as well. So yeah, that's super exciting.
The balcony is a meeting place up on the second floor there.
Well, and even to the balcony of the theater, we've never had elevator access to that. But then, the balcony and the reception space on the second floor, we'll be able to do meetings in there. We'll be able to do pre and post concert or post performance receptions. It's very exciting.
Yeah. This will take how long? Till a year plus?
A year plus, yeah. The scheduled final completion is the basically last day of November of 2024.
We've got a great segment coming away. The Elgin Public Museum. Sherry Blazer, director. You are the busiest gal in town, my dear.
It certainly feels that way sometimes, yeah.
You cornered us for just a few minutes of time here. We wanted to talk with you. In June, you released a great work of art as far as writing-wise is concerned. Of course, this is My Elgin, we know that. You've gotten wonderful feedback from that, haven't you?
I really have, and it's we've gotten many donations for it. It's turned out into a very good, profitable summer fundraiser for us. But we got plenty more, so please come and donate. You get just $10. Minimum $10 donation, you get a copy of the book.
And all that goes to the right here to the museum itself, so that's great.
Every penny of it. I don't make anything from this book whatsoever. It all just goes to the museum.
But it opens up your career for future writings, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, from here to the top of the New York Times bestseller list, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure that'll happen. Well, it's wonderful. So many stories, and it's really your childhood. You wrote everything down, everything that happened to you, and so many that are there. One of my favorites was, let's look back to 1934. There's a picture
that was not during my childhood. I think that needs to be
in almost your lifetime. Let's look back to the book in 1934. There's a picture of Dad, your dad and his two brothers in a 23 or 24 Ford. Now, that picture meant a lot to the family, didn't it?
It meant the world to my dad. He considered that just one of the greatest moments in his life. There were no driver's licenses then. So he was about 14, and he was tooling around town in a car that he bought for a couple of bucks and fixed up. And, that photograph there was one copy, and it was about this big, and he used to carry it in his wallet. And so it got really tattered over the years. And one day he came to me, and he took it out, and he said, I want you to save this, put it somewhere special. If I ever get my wallet stolen, I'll never see this picture again, and it means the world to me. Wow. So I had it blown up into a giant poster for Father's Day. And ever since then, that photograph in one form or another is just everywhere, in family lore. And so I, of course, had to put it in the book.
Just an example of the great pictures, the great stories. Now, your granddad worked at Gromer's. Everyone knows Gromer's, if they have any Elgin history at all.
And that's one of the points of the book. There's something in there that anybody who's been around Elgin for any length of time is going to remember, whether it's Gromer's or the Watch Factory or, so many iconic places. But yes, my grandfather was for many years the cheese department head, the dairy department head of Gromer's, primarily when it was on Liberty Street.
Yeah, that's great. And he got to do the WRMN radio commercials, didn't he?
He did. He sometimes did and he had this wonderful Norwegian accent, which you imitated once for me.
Yes,
because I had a copy of this original script, and you read it for me in Norwegian accent, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. The stories are endless, of course, as you know, and also you are a songwriter, song singer as well, and we can also enjoy those, can't we?
The lyrics are in here, and there's also QR codes to my very amateur recordings of them in the back, so you can just aim your phone at it, and the QR code will take you right to the song, and you can follow the lyrics along in the book.
This Is My Elgin, is that your favorite?
I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's certainly up there, and it's the title of the book. It was the title of the podcast that I did for One Source Podcast.
All those podcasts are great.
For One Source Productions. I did that a few years ago, and Jeremy's kind of talking about trying to get me back into it, and if I can find the time, I would.
Oh, I'll read.
Available everywhere.
Available everywhere.
Everywhere podcasts can be heard. This Is My Elgin.
We'll renew your contract right here, because they were great. When they were released, on Sunday mornings, they were on the weekend, all the boys would hop to them when they were released.
I'm sure of that.
They were, I kid you not. They were delightful. Did they leave anything out? This is such a great book. Response has been great, and you'll write another, won't you?
Given how well this one's going, I think probably next year we will. It's just gravy for the museum, and it fulfills my need to write stuff. And I've gotten great reactions, including my fourth and sixth grade teacher was a man named Mr. John Fox at Highland Elementary School. And his daughter came in and bought a copy of it for him for Father's Day, and said he really enjoyed it. So now I'm going to have a chance to see my old sixth grade teacher, who was my favorite teacher all through U46. So
we can safely say your future writing career is safe. It'll happen.
I hope so.
And at 67 Larkin football team, he had stories about that. So whatever touched your life, we see it, don't we?
You got it, absolutely.
For another time, we'll talk about that episode on Twilight Zone that scared
Twilight
you.
Zone. Yeah, I mean,
we don't have time.
Nightmares that,
Oh, I still do on those. Well, congratulations, and we can get the book. We come in here, we can purchase the book.
Yeah, you can. You can just come to the museum during open hours and pick it up. And
there it
like
is.
I said, we're only looking for $10 donation or more. You can always do more, but $10 gets you a copy of the book, and our great gratitude for
Elgin Public Museum it is. We're in the lawn of it right now. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Great 1907 building. So we appreciate your efforts, and we'll look forward to your next work, all right?
Thank you very
Can,
much.
can you
Jeremy.
sing us out real quick?
And I'll let Jeremy do the
Can he sing?
QR code.
Oh, the QR code.
I'll let him put a snippet of something on here if he really wants to.
And it occurs to me that I've lived something epic. I'm a piece of a puzzle, a thread in a quilt, begun by my grandmas in a town my grandfather's built. Flashbacks of long ago, still clear as back in the day. Blind accordionist playing.
It's the August edition, and Mayor David Captain, you've got a wonderful show set for us today, don't you?
Yeah, we're in a surprise spot. We're going to go through a whole history of part of downtown Elgin. And with us today is Dan Strajny. He's a part owner in the new project at 40 DuPage Court. And it's going to be an exciting project for conversion of offices to residential and mixed use on the first floor. But one of the things that really we did some the groundbreaking and stuff here a short time ago, but what got me interested was the structure itself. And it was built in 1893, and this was Elgin's first skyscraper. I'm going to call it a skyscraper, even though it didn't fit the definition. It's got to be, it has to be a certain height. And the first one was built in Chicago in 1885, and this building was constructed in 93. And part of it is that it's got a steel infrastructure, a steel frame, and allowed it to go up, and that's how they defined a skyscraper at that time. That and an elevator, I think, was part of it. And they looked at electricity, and that was really cutting edge for the city of Elgin to do that. And Chicago got in a competition with the city of New York to build skyscrapers, and over time, and Elgin had one. So people think the tower building was our first, but it was not.
And jumped to late
this
20s.
very interesting building is going to go through a long history in the city of Elgin, and now its future life for the next 100 years, we hope, is going to be residential and mixed use. And Dan, tell us how you found this building and what made you interested in Elgin, and how did you pick to come here and to do this great project?
We'll mention Jennifer Pocallo from DNA also here with us. That's all right, Mayor.
The best looking of us all. I forgot to excuse me for not introducing Jennifer.
That was a great intro. I know more about the building than Jennifer. Hello, Dan.
Hi, how are you?
So you heard all the setup there. So this is going to be a great future. We have a wonderful future here when it's where you ground broke back on June 29th. That was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great event. It was great turnout for everyone, great support by the city and the surrounding people that all showed up. It was very nice.
You and Jennifer will tell us the vision for what the future will be here.
Yeah. So, like Mayor said, we're going to be converting it to 40 apartments. There's going to be 8 studio, 8 2-bedroom, and the rest are going to be 1-bedroom, first floor commercial. And we're expecting to have things opened up definitely next year.
This is exciting, isn't it?
It is, and we're standing in that commercial space on the first floor of the building, which you can see behind us. Very exciting. It's all been opened up in preparation for the new build out of this building.
The courtyard at 40 it will be called. So what will our DuPage Court look?
DuPage Court is going to be starting its own renovation later this year, later this fall, and I understand that it should be concluding next year, and when this building opens, they will both be newly refreshed and re-energizing this area of downtown Elgin.
Wonderful. You got more questions for Dan, don't you?
It is. This is, and I think the impact of having at least 40 people, new people in downtown, full-time residents, and that's been part of the plan here for the city of Elgin for over 20 years, is to bring more residential and to the downtown, and this is certainly going to be a part of the project. It's partly funded through TIF funds to help complete the project and do what TIF money does, and it gets the ball rolling, so to speak. And these are the guys, the brain work and the vision comes from Dan and his partners as to what they saw here in downtown Elgin and why they want to invest their money.
What caught your eye early?
Location and the city itself. It's just right in downtown Elgin. Walking distance to so many great restaurants. The community, it's very eccentric and unique, and just this location being here in the courtyard too. Something, 5-story building right downtown where you got a courtyard attached to it. and all the windows, and you can see the river from here, and it's just a beautiful location, and just the opportunity and knowing the vision of the city of Elgin with trying to bring more density to downtown, and truthfully, just the support from the city and the TIF assistance also couldn't get it done without that. So.
Are you from our Chicagoland area?
I am. I grew up in Algonquin. My dad went to
right around the corner.
Yeah, and my dad went to Elgin High, and so been in this area my whole life. So.
What year did Dad graduate?
I don't know the year, but he was the last graduating class of Elgin High School.
Probably class 72 then.
That sounds right. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting. And, a project like this doesn't happen overnight. It started with a lot of conversations about, what the highest and best use of the building could be. And, after a couple of years of conversations and getting the right people involved in the conversations, the project took shape and came to City Council for approval. And, now fast forward, we're excited to be having the action actually happening.
That's wonderful. Speaking of being excited, you really are in this location, aren't you?
It is, yeah. I think and this is great, and it's Jennifer kind of touched on how these things work. That it takes a vision, it takes money, it takes a developer, and all those things have to come together. And if one of those parts falls out, you can have the best vision, or the community can have the best vision, and that may not be practical from a development standpoint. That they just can't make any money, and we do hear that there's no way we can make that work. That it's on that site or this number of units, and you end up doing something that may be a little bit different and to change. And this project goes through a couple of discussions. I'm sure you guys had plenty of meetings, lots of cups of coffee and things like that to make things come together. But it has, and I think that's the key. And I saw the plans, and I think this is going to be a great site. Yep, and it now starting to shop for tenants for the mixed use space as well. And people will come in and make a decision: can my business survive here? Can I make a go of being part of this building? And that'll be future discussions.
And you love to have folks living here in downtown, don't you?
Absolutely, it's critical for the downtown. And we're finding that all over, and the world's changing around us. Places, and I use my neighbors in Dundee, they're finding that the mall is not what it was 25 or 30 years ago. They're looking at doing residential. Aurora did the same thing. So you go back and retrench, and the world changes around you. But again, Dan said this site is perfect. It's easy transportation. A couple blocks away is a Metro. You can go into the city of Chicago if you choose to. Close to the tollway, close to bus. So there's a lot of pluses for people that want to live down here.
We're like a metropolitan area. Your manager over there, isn't he? The man who's taking care of creating this.
Yeah,
give him a plug.
The general contractor. Yeah, we work with Build Tech, and they're based in Schaumburg. Great organization. They've been just so helpful from the start, and couldn't have asked for a better partner on this.
Wonderful. He's watching us and keeping everything quiet, isn't he?
Yes, Build Tech has been wonderful to work with as a downtown partner on this project. Really mindful of the surroundings around them. Doing a project like this in a very dense area of downtown kind of takes its own light touch. But yeah, we're very excited for the future of this building. And, the mayor talked about residential. And in the time that I've been here, looking, which is 6 years at this point, the residential in downtown Elgin has never been stronger. And really, we've been at effectively zero vacancy throughout that time. Many of the buildings down here have waiting lists. There might be one unit that opens up and, is leased shortly thereafter, but there's very quick turnaround on residential spaces down here. So we think that this building is going to be a great addition to that mix.
And after the groundbreaking on June 29th, you were getting great feedback from the citizens of Elgin, weren't you?
We are, and people are just really excited to see the activity and the energy, and see the work happening that they've been hearing about for so long.
And you too, Mayor, you took more notes for this interview than anything we've ever done, so I know you're excited about this event.
I wanted to talk about the history of it and the fact that it's a homegrown a skyscraper, and I think we should also mention, just so people, if they're not familiar with this location, it's kind of across from Al's Cafe and kitty corner from Art Space, which was the first project of its kind, and where we converted a commercial building. In the interim, it was part of Elgin Community College, so it was a college, and it converted to a residential. And at that time, people questioned what that would work.
Yeah.
And I said, I looked at other projects like that around the country, and there were about 35. And I said, every one of
We're
them
going to
was
have a visitor right
successful.
now.
And this is important. So this has got to be something that can work here too.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that play again and again and again.
I love your working crew. We almost saw one right there, but that's right. That's why we're putting this thing together. It's coming to you live on tape.
Yep.
Did we leave anything out, Dan?
No, I'm just, again, we're just honored and excited about the project, and we look forward to continuing to progress through it, and just can't wait for the ribbon cutting.
Jennifer?
Very excited as well, and I hope the project keeps going as smoothly as it's been going so far.
And Mayor, you're like a little kid with this project.
I'm always like a little kid. So it's been great working with these guys, and it's been great here for the groundbreaking, and looking forward to the ribbon cutting and to welcome new residents to the city of Elgin.
And it'll be rolling by 2024.
That's the goal, yes, absolutely.
So we can move in like in the first part of the year?
Oh, no, it'd be like by the end of 2024, we'll be
right.
yeah, marketing in the probably middle, this time next year, we should be pre-leasing.
Is that right? Well, 1 year you're here, Mayor.
That's it. We'll look for. We'll hold them to that.
All right, well, it's exciting news. Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, Dan.
Yes, thank you.
We had a wonderful time here. We appreciate the hospitality.
Absolutely.
And now you can get back to work, young man. All right, we're going to get out of here. This is a great project. We appreciate everybody being aboard for this August edition with Mayor David Captain. Thanks.
Hola a todos, espero que se encuentren de maravilla disfrutando de nuestro verano, que rápido se nos va acabando, desafortunadamente, porque el verano siempre se va corriendo, ¿verdad? Pero para eso quiero dejarles saber de información que va a suceder aquí en la ciudad de Elgin, porque va a haber una colaboración con la biblioteca de Elgin, Gilboa Public Library, junto con la ciudad de Elgin. Va a haber un evento que se llama Canta con Orgullo. Es que vamos a estar disfrutando en sí lo que es nuestra herencia hispana, vamos a tener en sí música, va a haber personas cantando, va a haber un desfile de carros que siempre hay cada año y a veces no sabemos muchos detalles, vamos a tener esa información también. Va a haber un ballet folclórico, no puede faltar los bailarines porque es bien importante que los tengamos aquí trayendo nuestra tradición. También vamos a tener en sí a Frida Kahlo, unas sculpturas que van a tener, que es algo muy interesante, no quiero que se lo vayan a perder. Van a tener juegos como de lotería, música, que siempre tenemos tener, y la comida, no podemos faltar la comida. Y luego al final de ese evento, que va a ser septiembre 16, va a haber los fuegos artificiales, que siempre es lo que nos emociona ver al final, es que vamos a tener una buena combinación de comida, eventos. Tenemos diferentes colaboraciones de la comunidad, de diferentes organizaciones que van a venir y dar información. Creo que es un evento que toda la familia debe de venir a apoyar a nuestra ciudad porque están haciéndolo para ayudarnos a celebrar nuestra herencia hispana. Va a ser septiembre 16, no se lo vayan a perder. Les quiero hacer una gran invitación aquí a la ciudad de Elgin. Tenemos que estar involucrados, participar en lo que está sucediendo. Muchas veces hay cambios que en sí no sabemos y nunca tomamos ese empeño de tratar de saber qué está pasando, qué podemos hacer nosotros, y estar un poquito más involucrados. Cada otro miércoles tienen en sí las juntas de los concejales. Les invito a que vengan, empiezan a las 6, cualquier persona puede venir de la comunidad. La verdad es ideal que vengan, participen, involúcrense para que sepan lo que está sucediendo y ayudar, colaborar, porque creo que es algo que necesitamos como hispanos en sí, crecer y ser parte de nuestra comunidad de Elgin. Siempre nos preguntan qué queremos hacer, qué es lo que nos idealmente miramos, los parques, cosas así. Hay tantas cosas que nos piden, que quieren que participemos y no siempre estamos presentes, que sí les invito a que vengan aquí en la ciudad de Elgin. Si al caso tiene alguna pregunta o duda, tenemos dos concejales en sí, el concejal Ortiz y también la concejal Martínez, que ellas están aquí para ayudar a abogar por nosotros. Tenemos preguntas, dudas, cualquier cosa, ellos están aquí para en sí guiarnos, ayudarnos y ser nuestras voces. Es que realmente vamos a en sí crear esa relación con ellos para que nos puedan sacar de dudas, preguntas, cualquier cosa que se necesita. Es bien importante que nosotros los apoyemos a ellos y ellos también que nos apoyen a nosotros por dudas que tengamos en la comunidad, ideas. Hubo una encuesta que hicieron, ¿qué quieren hacer con el parque Lawrence Park? Solamente solamente 2% de hispanos respondieron a eso. Y 1% dijeron que querían en sí unas canchas para jugar fútbol, soccer. Y desafortunadamente somos muchísimas más, casi estamos a mitad, como 50% casi de hispanos. Y solamente tener 2% realmente necesitamos más apoyo. Es que les pedimos, les imploramos que vamos a unirnos, tratar de crecer en sí nuestra participación en la comunidad. Aquí tenemos 2 personas que hablan español, hay que apoyarnos con ellos para que así nuestras voces se escuchen y seamos aquí activos en la ciudad de Elgin, porque Elgin está casi a 50% de hispanos. Estamos haciendo bastante, estamos creciendo, hay mucha diversión, y cosas que están haciendo por nosotros. Hay que tener esa variedad de nosotros de tratar de participar. Es que los invitamos que vengan. Pueden ir al cityofelgin.org para que vean en sí cuándo son las juntas, qué preguntas hay, qué encuestas podemos participar. Es que en sí cualquier pregunta que tengan nos pueden mandar un mensaje y les podemos ayudar a responder esas preguntas. Gracias, hasta pronto. Los viernes no se pierdan lo que le llaman Farmers Market en sí en Elgin, que son diferentes agricultores que vienen y traen su cosecha, traen comida, traen diferentes cosas. En sí ha crecido bastante, muchas personas vienen de afuera a venir a disfrutar esta marqueta que tenemos aquí en Elgin. Está en sí cerca del río aquí en el centro, no se lo pierdan porque realmente es algo que tienen un poquito de todo, tienen en sí huevos que son más orgánicos, tienen diferentes comidas, en sí hasta jabones, siempre hay tantas cosas para venir y ver. Cada viernes de 3 de la tarde hasta las 7. No se lo pierdan porque es un gran apoyo para así apoyar a nuestras personas que están a nuestro alrededor, tratando de hacer las cosas más saludables y aparte en sí disfrutar una buena tarde. En sí tienen una variedad de personas que vienen y venden diferentes cosas, artesanías y cosas así. Eso es que no se lo pierdan, aquí los esperamos los viernes de 3 a 7. Sigan disfrutando lo que nos queda del verano. Sí les quiero decir, aseguren que aprovechen el clima, salgan en las bicicletas, tenemos diferentes en sí, lo que le llaman, las bicicletas que tenemos aquí salen en las noches, e incluso va a haber diferentes, lo que le llaman rodadas de luna, en la noche salen a las 9 aquí cerca del barco, vamos como 1 hora y media más o menos, es familiar, disfruten, salgan a correr, este tiempo se nos vuela, aprovechen, porque realmente ya cuando acordamos viene el frío. Los esperamos y ojalá los que nos topemos corriendo afuera o en las pistas que tenemos aquí en Elgin. For more information, please visit cityofelgin.org. Para más información, por favor visite nuestra página cityofelgin.org. Don't forget, for city services, call 311. Call, click, connect. Para servicios de la ciudad, no olvide llamar 311, llamar, conectar y textear.